This is Play North, the Manitoba Games Show. We invite you to join us right here in Thompson, March 4th to 10th, 2018 for the Manitoba Games powered by Manitoba Hydro. If you're looking for us on social media, look for our hashtag Play North, and we're on all forms of social media. We're at Manitoba Games. If you're interested in being involved in the games, www.manitobagames.ca is the place to go. Joining me today is Dan Colossi. Dan has a bit of a military background, and I think the job that we've signed you up for could use that. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is dealing with all of the results and getting those out to the province. Dan, are you worried about this job at all?
Not at all. I've got a lot of experience with results, dealing with biathlon especially, so coming into it with that kind of background helps, and coordinating, like you said, I've got the military background working with cadets, and so I'll be able to deal with the team effectively, and I think we'll be doing well.
Be in good shape. Glad to hear you have some experience, because when I read the job description for this, it terrifies me, and I don't know why. I guess maybe I'm just not the same numbers guy you are, but give us sort of the 10,000 foot view. If we're flying over in the glider, what does your job look like?
Essentially, the results team collects all of the results for all of the different sports, brings them into the results center, and from there inputs them into the software, which publishes them to the website for the entire province, or if the entire world wanted to take a look at what Manitoba Games is doing, they can definitely do that online. So we'll be entering them in, and people, the provincial sport organizations and the public in general can pull them from that source.
So we've got 13 sports, 15 events. How do the results actually get to you? Have you figured that out yet? Is it electronic, carrier pigeon, rocket-powered boomerang? Do we have Sherpas? Like, how are we doing this, man?
If you're buying the rocket-powered boomerangs, I'll use them.
Drones?
For some of the sports, we are using live results, so we'll have people at the venues with a device. It can even be done from a personal cell phone if they have an internet connection. We'll have people there that are trained to do that and enter the results and have the permissions to enter them. And they will do that live for certain events. For the other ones, we'll be using either runners, so they'll be physically taking paper copies of the results, bringing them to us in the results center, or they'll be calling in the results, and then we'll get the paper copy later on in the day and do it that way.
So it's a little bit different for everything, and we were talking a little bit before. You haven't even quite figured out how all the results are getting from the venues to here. Is that kind of correct?
Not necessarily for all sports. We figured it out for some, but not for others. A lot of it has to do with the sports schedules as well, and just figuring out, when would the runners need to be where, and sorting everything out by game end times.
And as you alluded to, there'll be a website. Is that the way that the rest of the province can connect to us?
Yeah, absolutely. We're using a program called GEMS Pro, Games Event Management System, and that will be available through the Manitoba Games and through Sport Manitoba's website by linking there as well.
And GEMS Pro is the same software that they used at the Canada Games, and I think even had a link to the Olympics, so we're tying into something big.
Yeah, we absolutely are. It's a big system, and Manitoba Games, or the Sport Manitoba, has got on board with that, and it's a fantastic program. Had the opportunity to meet the people who actually program it this summer at the Canada Games, and it was an awesome experience to talk to them as well.
Yeah, you were down at the knowledge transfer thing with Paul and Harold and those guys?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great experience.
What an event. How many volunteers do you think you're looking at? I know you haven't quite figured out exactly how everything's going to work yet, but can you ballpark it for us?
I'm shooting a number out there of about 20 to 30 people total over the entire course of the games. That's kind of assuming that some people are going to want to work multiple shifts, and I'm going to be working the entire games as well, as is every other chairperson of their area. But 20 to 30 people should put us in a good position for the results center.
Perfect. And last one, you just sort of alluded to it now. I think a little bit like myself and a few other people, you've pretty much committed yourself 24/7 to the games when they're here. So what are we looking at for the space where you guys are actually going to do this? Is it a fortified bunker that looks like sort of like some sort of a NASA kind of thing with a couch that you just sleep on the whole time?
Well, we're going to be in a computer lab at R.D. Parker at the high school. So with that, not going to have sleeping facilities there, but we're going to be definitely keeping it as a quiet center, so that if someone needed to crash out in the corner for a few minutes, sure, but other than that, it's going to be quiet so that it can be data results only in that room and restricted access as well.
Thanks for joining me, Dan. Bivouacked and living on rations for 7 days. Coming up March 4th to 10th right here in Thompson. That's when the Manitoba... Yeah. Yeah, March 11th, we'll send a search team for you. The games happen here March 4th to 10th. They're powered by Manitoba Hydro. Look for us on social media with our hashtag #PlayNorth at Manitoba Games on all platforms. And if you want to volunteer, find us at www.manitobagames.ca.